Hi, quick shot. Hopefully that's about right. Yeah, I haven't done a YouTube in a long time for Classic Car Addict. You might have seen me with Aaron with Classic Britain, or Sheldon, or whatever he calls himself this week. But I haven't really done very much. I'm sharing a unit now with my mate Jess, and I just thought I'd give you a quick walk around. First of all, we've got the four-wheel drive in Tug, which failed its MOT last week on mostly welding. Unfortunately, I spent all weekend welding. We needed a little piece in here. This is because of the rear seatbelt mount, which is there, and this part was soft and it's all within so many inches. And if we come in, let me have a little look round, hopefully. But this is, I'll get back to that. Here we go. My bench looking very untidy. You've got sort of in here, and I'll walk round a sec. I've had to weld in quite a lot around the bottom there, and weld in around the mounts. And here we go. That's possibly a better shot. You can see what we've got in there. That's all being welded in. But I've also had to weld in behind this panel, which I can show around. I've had to weld in here to recreate the bush mount, to recreate the body mount, and I've had to do it on both sides. And to make life interesting, we haven't. I had to do them to bushes in place, which was a question of welding damp rag, not to burn the bushes. It failed on this brake line, which fair enough. Unfortunately, as per normal, the warrant they sent is the wrong one, so I'm going to have to get on the phone tomorrow and try to locate the proper brake line for it. Otherwise, this will be ready for its MOT. The workshop is not far, and perhaps you can see as we walk down. This is Jess's MGB. If anybody has looked at Classic Car Addict, I wrote about a tale of two MGBs, part 1, part 2 and part 3, I think. And this is a car which we drove up, and Jess finally decided it starts needing some work on it. So we're doing this. What you will notice is, quite clearly, we have a pit which we've measured it. I think it's about 24 feet long. So that isn't bad, is it? Anyway, Jess's MGB. I've got effectively two spaces. We need to put some cladding up, put some shelves up here. I've got two Morris Minor gearboxes, a Vitara engine from Nigel, most of the spare underneath at the back there. Obviously my welders and bits and pieces. This to me is like the welding zone here, and my hammers and bits and pieces for that. But I've got there's a Morris Minor axle there. This was some temporary shelves made up. I've got the guarding equipment up here as well. We've got to make more shelves to come up. So effectively I've got two bays. Jess has got two bays, sort of. And the next two bays are Jess's. This is Jess's MGB. This is Jess's partner's bargain Mini Clubman, which hopefully should be on the road sometime. We're aiming to have it on the road. Well, they're aiming to have it together in about the next 5 to 6 weeks. I'd probably say 2 months because things always take a bit longer than they want. But they got for a bargain price, and this car is remarkably rust free. I mean, I know about mini body shells, and this body shell is remarkably rust free. This is sort of some of Jess's storage area here, and bits and pieces. We've got some shared space up there. We've got some of my Morris Minor seats and some of Jess's workbench, which I can't really show you. Here we've got, and these are interesting. These are my two bikes, because I also have motorcycles. This is a BMW F650, which ironically is actually been insured the last 2 years, and I haven't done any mileage. It's on the same policy as the Vitara with a company called Carroll Nash, which I've been with for years, and I haven't had any problems with them. And other insurance companies are out there, but I've worked with Caravan Nash for about 7 or 8 years, and they seem to have a proactive attitude and a can-do positive attitude. That needs battery. That probably needs about 60 quid, maybe 70 quid. I've got 2 tyres to go onto it. It needs a battery. Carburetor's cleaning out, which is a horrible job to do because you've got to basically start at each end and work your way in. Only BMW would design a bike with 2 carburetors, which you can take apart. That one is sort of, I think if you go back onto Classicaraddict in the way back, and I'll send some links to this, that bike has been on it before. And as we step around, you can see that the pit goes back from here. So the pit goes virtually 2/3 of the way up to the Vitara, which is all the way up there, back to here. So this is a big pit. That is the mini engine. This is Jess has made his area very lovely and very organised. Now this is a Yamaha FZ600. And I've had a lot of bikes. I think I counted up bikes I've had, including mopeds and stuff. I think I've had like 70 bikes, 50 bikes over the years. And all the bikes I've ever had, this is my favourite. It's Yamaha's first 4-stroke bike, because Yamaha were notorious for things like the RD250s, the RD125s, and then later the RD250, the RD350LC, and then in the early 80s the RD350 YPVS and the RD500 and so forth. Yamaha were basically a 2-stroke sports bike manufacturer for a long time. And this is the predecessor to the FZRs and the R1s and the R6s. And I think it was based on the Japanese market only for Yamaha 400. And they basically squeezed an old air-cooled 8-valve engine into it, an old air-valve 8-valve air-cooled XJ600 motor, which is also used in other places. So yeah, so that is hopefully next winter's project. That we are going to get that one on the road next winter. But hope when all this COVID madness is sort of back. And as we walk around, we'll sort of skip through Jess's bit. This is still a brilliant car. This car is absolutely amazing. I think I've just heard Jess turn up in the MGB because he's borrowing it. And up there is one of my bloody great big paddleboards. That's my 14-foot paddleboard. Anyway, this is hopefully, I can't see this now, so this is just guesswork. Hopefully that's a little bit of what we're doing. Jess and I are sharing the unit, and hopefully we'll start making a little bit of money out of this. And I will be doing more videos and bits and pieces. Speak to you soon, and videos won't be quite so long next time.